hello. Welcome. If you're new here, please subscribe, click the notification bell, share everywhere. If you're returning, welcome home.
It's showtime.
Yes, yes, yes. Thanks for subscribing, Lydia Runnels. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do some quick housekeeping. Make sure everything is in working order. Right. Bear with me, just doing a little housekeeping. Hmm. There goes my chat. All right, that's good to go. Bear with me. What's going on, Chev? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, Chev or Chev. And thank you, Owen Supreme, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Off to a slow start. And thank you for everybody who's subscribing. All right, so I think we're good to go. Just gonna double check some stuff while I hold you hostage. All right, yeah, trying to be fancy over here. All right, so again, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to be reviewing the From Season 3, Episode 5 trailer. I don't know where people get these things from because I'm on MGM Plus and I don't see the trailer on there. Maybe I'm not looking hard enough, but I got it. We got it from the YouTube streets. I'm all right with that. All right, so we're going to go through it.
Hell happened last night? Tell me this back. What? Listen, Tabitha got out. It's possible. Where's the tree?
What are we waiting for? I got it.
Victor, your dad is here.
Let's go. Let's go, boys.
He's upstairs.
No.
Victor,
We're going to the tree. What?
they're right. I went out and I came back. And I came back with nothing.
Yes, you came back with nothing. Came back with nothing. All right, let's go through this thing one more time. Before doing that, let me fix my chat. We'll get it right eventually. Yeah, that's better. All right, so let's see. I like how they tell Victor that his father's literally upstairs and he says it's not possible and leaves. Nothing or something. Yeah, and gonna go through it one more time.
Hell happened last night? Tell me this back. What? Listen, Tabitha got out. It's possible. Where's the...
All right, so I'm guessing that they didn't really game plan telling people that Tabitha got out and Tabitha's right there in front of them. Because if they're hearing Tabitha got out, if I'm trapped in Fromville and I hear Tabitha got out and she's back, my first thought is, no, it's not possible. Because if she got out and she's back, does she have the power to leave? And it's probably where Tabitha tells the story of going to the faraway tree with the bottles. The boy in white pushed her out of the lighthouse. She went back to the regular world. And everybody's like, well, wait a minute. If that's the case, then push me out too. Push me out too.
So basically, the folks or whoever it was in charge, they pulled some shenanigans.
Right, because she's back in. She's back in.
Where's the tree?
Literally, wait over here. I got it.
Right, Dale is saying, I like it.
That is
Dale is saying, let's go to the tree. Let's go to the tree.
That's not possible, boys.
Victor's acting like a child. And that's probably the reason why no one really goes to Victor and asks him questions or tell him anything, because he's always acting like a little kid. Okay. Okay.
No.
Victor,
We're going to the tree. What?
they're right. I went out and I came back. And I came back with nothing.
Yeah, she came back with nothing. Yeah. All right, so that's probably them looking into the tree. So, yeah, not much. I mean, pretty straightforward. And the fact, and the idea that everyone's gonna want to go seek this tree. You know what? Let me take this down. Let me take this down. I'm taking all this stuff down, y'all. All right, that's better. All right, yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you want to go explore the tree? And this is probably towards the end of the episode when they're actually going to go explore the tree. And that's Jade. He's looking inside. Yeah. So to me, the only reason why I wouldn't want to go to the tree or even go inside is, number one, the tree may be so far away where they have to camp out, which is understandable. Then if you go in the tree, will you actually end up at the lighthouse? Because Victor told Tabitha, take you to the lighthouse. I'm assuming that no one, Victor's not told anyone else that the tree goes to the lighthouse. So if he only told Tabitha and Tabitha's telling everybody else, what if they go into the tree, go to the lighthouse, and then they're stuck there? They're probably going to be stuck there if they do go into the lighthouse. So, if anything, they should maybe send 3 people to explore, because they may get to the top of the lighthouse and there's a hole missing in the lighthouse, but that's it. And now you're stuck at the lighthouse. Because when we saw Tabitha at the end of episode 10 of season 2, when she went to the lighthouse, we didn't see her come out of a tree. So she may have came out of thin air. So if you're out there and you're trapped, then you may end up being SOL. So, I don't know. Let's see if we can go back through one more time. All right, so some things that I'm noticing is I don't see Randall there. I mean, Randall should be the talk of the town. He survived an encounter with the creatures. Don't see Randall. Yeah, everybody's saying go to the tree, go to the tree. So, did they tell Victor this without Henry being present? Because right now I see Sarah right there. That's Victor. That's Henry in Ellis and Fatima's room with the paintings. He looking at the paintings.
Victor, your dad is here.
That's not possible.
That's not possible. So why would Victor think it's not possible that his dad show up? So I don't really blame Victor. I'm thinking that because he accepts From as being his home, he more than likely is he doesn't care about the real world or the outside world, including his father. So for his father to be there, he more than likely just wrote his father off as being dead. And
He's upstairs.
No.
yeah, dude's upstairs, he runs out like a child. Yeah, Victor doesn't care about the real world. He's not trying to leave. So we've gone through the trailer, at least enough for now. One thing I want to kind of look at is episode 1. All right, let's pull up episode 1. Hopefully you all can see it. Does Boyd still have the bile ammunition? He probably used all the bile ammunition at the end of season 2 when shooting at the creatures. Oh, thank you, Owen, for becoming a member. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for being a member, becoming a member. Appreciate it. Welcome. See if I missed any answering questions. Talking about me, I'll answer some questions. David says, remember how the rock with the smiley face fell out of the sky after being put in a faraway tree? What if people go through it and they fall from the sky all over town? Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. But the faraway tree, according to Victor, they're random. You could end up anywhere. But my theory is that when going through the faraway tree, if you have something on you or if you're thinking about something, you can control the faraway tree, because the faraway tree is basically a wormhole. So the faraway tree is basically a wormhole. It's not, I mean, it's a portal, wormhole, whatever, but you're able to travel through space using the faraway trees or wormhole. That's what kind of first started for me to start thinking about the idea of space-time, because if you have faraway trees that are just in trees all around the forest, we don't even know how many there are. If you can travel through space like that, and then you have the years in the bottle trees or in the bottles on the bottle tree, then you have the years in the lighthouse, that also would kind of make someone allude to being able to travel through time. So space-time. And that's where I kind of have that, the last video that I put up about traversing space-time, like it's an ocean and everything, is from the idea of the faraway trees where you're going through wormholes, and then the years in the bottles on the bottle tree or that lead to the lighthouse and the lighthouse itself. All right, so yeah, Tabitha messed up. I don't think Tabitha's mission was to bring Henry back to Fromville. I think she got pulled into Fromville by something other than the boy in white, and Henry got roped up in it. And whatever pulled Tabitha back into Fromville is using Henry to torture Victor. All right, so this is where Tabitha, she's escaping, and people were saying that she was on the 13th floor. We can see right here. You probably can't even really tell because it's kind of dark, but yeah, it's clearly 12 right there, not 13. People are like, oh, she's on the 13th floor, it's unlucky. No, she's on the 12th floor. Definitely on the 12th floor. All right, so she's leaving the hospital. Okay, this is when she's walking out the hospital. She walks out. She's going around, looking around town. Okay, so she sees the boy in white as soon as she comes out the hospital. All right, so we all see that, right? She snuck out the hospital without paying. Okay, that's the reason why the healthcare system is so expensive. That's the reason why the healthcare system is so expensive. And yeah, I know. That's why it's so expensive. She didn't want to pay. All right, so she immediately leaves out the hospital, goes around the corner. She's walking, chilling. Uh-oh, went too fast. So when she comes out of the hospital, she immediately sees the boy in white. She immediately sees him right here. She immediately sees the boy in white. He waves. Come to me, come to me. All right, so she sees him. Hey, hey, hey! Almost get hit by a car. Watch where you're going, lady. Watch where you're going. All right. No, okay. So David Mills says maybe could be 13 if ground floor is G. So if the ground floor is G, then that doesn't really count as one of the floors of the actual hospital. So what's going on? Okay, I see Michael. We got Michael in the building, one of the channel members. Hello, hello. Yeah, salute, sir. Salute. Salute. So if the 13th floor is if the parking garage or ground floor is G, that doesn't count as one of the floors. It still would be 12, which is why it's 12 right there next to the elevator. So Michael says back, was Henry actually there before? I mean, I think if Henry was there before, he would have said something. She was on the 12th floor, but it displayed 13 on the top. Yeah, so it displayed 13 because the actual elevator was coming from the 13th floor. So the question people were asking were, well, what was on the 13th floor? I guess another hospital floor. But because she's back in Frumville, it's what was on the 13th floor. It was a nothing burger. They made a point of showing the elevator passing the 13th floor. Most buildings don't label it 13. Superstition made me think of the movie 13th Floor about people trapped in a simulation. That is true. That is true. Watch that lady that almost gets hit by the car. If you rewind a little, she was in a scene just before that, sort of like deja vu. Deja vu? What? You mean the movie Deja Vu? All right, so she's coming out of the hospital. That's Tabitha. She's walking. She's walking. Okay. She's going around the corner from the hospital. Walking, walking. Yeah, she sees the boy in white. He waves. Boom. Hey, hey, hey. Almost get hit by the car. All right, so she's walking across the street. All right, so she sees the boy in white right there. That is definitely the boy in white. Yeah, that's definitely him. He's got his back turned towards her, not trying to have a face-to-face conversation. So he's leading her. All right, so right now, she is leading her. I'm sure we're all on the same page with that. He is leading her. All right, so she's following him. She sees him. She's following him. He's still walking. All right, he goes into the coffee shop. He kind of power walks into the coffee shop. So it's almost like he's leading her, but it seemed as if in leading her, he was power walking in. People usually do, in my opinion, in my experience, people usually do that when they're trying to set you up. They're like, hey, hey, come over here, come get me. And then you're going to them, or you're going to them, and they start walking off before you even get face to face with them. And dude was power walking. Sirens this late at night. People got to go to bed. Let's watch that again. She's looking for him. Look at how quick he's moving. Dude is booking it. You see how fast he's moving? watch that lady. Okay, I saw that. Room number said level 12, not a room number. All right, so so it's the coffee shop. She's going inside, getting ready to go inside. She kind of eases her way into the coffee shop. All right, so this is definitely him right here. That is definitely the boy in white right there. Camera pans back to her. She moves close, and all of a sudden, it's not him. This is a whole nother person. So he was looking in. I guess this is, I don't know what that is. That could be maybe where ice cream is. But that definitely was the boy in white. She touched him, and it turned into someone else. So here's my thought. Here's my initial thought with that. I think the boy in white had possessed him, made him go outside, flagged down Tabitha, and then when Tabitha came up, the possession ended. Because it just wouldn't make sense for the boy in white to be there in that shot, and then all of a sudden she touches him and he just like teleports away and teleports someone there. No, I believe the boy in white possessed him, and then when she touched him, he left. So like she can maybe see supernatural or extraterrestrial beings, and then when the possession ends and the boy in white leaves, that's when it's him. Because you could say, well, maybe she was hallucinating because she's seeing something from the concussion that she had from being found by the hikers. You could say that. You could say that. But I think that the reason why we're seeing it the way we're seeing it is because the boy in white had possessed whoever this guy is. Because when he turns around, he looks confused. Now, Tabitha's confused. And then this is supposed to be, I guess, his mom. Let's get some volume going.
Tim, I'm so sorry. What's wrong with you? And one scoop or two. What do you mean is the only way? Get your hands off him. I'm so sorry. What's wrong with you? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right. So Tabitha's like, I'm sorry, and she leaves. So we're thinking that maybe this woman that was beside this boy was his mom, but I don't think that was his mom. See, we're thinking this is his mom. That's what I initially thought. Did you all think the same thing? Like an agent jumping in and out of people in the Matrix. Yeah, something like that. He's like the Q on Star Trek Next Generation. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So in this shot, we see the boy in white. We see the boy in white. And then we see this woman right here. So when I first saw the scene, I was thinking that maybe they were like the actual boy that the boy in white turns into, according, based off the way the camera's looking, that was his mom. I don't think so. I believe that this boy is not related to this woman. And the reason why I'm explaining that is because I do believe this boy was possessed by the boy in white, and the boy in white left when Tabitha touched him. Because have we ever seen a character in From actually touch the boy in white? No, we have not. We've never seen anybody actually touch him. We've seen water on the boy in white during the rain scene with Boyd and Sarah, but as far as any other interaction of something actually physically touching him, we have not seen that. So she touches the actual boy. All right, so we can't even see that woman's face. You see Tabitha just leaves. All right, why are you leaving the coffee shop if the boy in white led you in there? Why are you leaving the coffee shop if the boy in white led you in there? To me, that's where Tabitha messed up. She should have stayed in the coffee shop. What do you all think? What do you all think? She should have stayed in the coffee shop.
Let's go!
Because, see, it may have been something in the coffee shop that she was supposed to see or get. We don't know. She leaves the coffee shop and then she just... Yeah, that now she's walking around aimlessly. She walks around, she gets these people's phones, she calls her mom, but doesn't call Jim's people. Man, she doesn't call Jim's family, none of that. None of that. Just calls her people only. Yeah. So she calls her family, or her mom. I'm okay. They both have the same Colombian accent. Makes that one phone call. That's it. Then she goes to a Catholic church to pray or do confession. And people have said that, oh, well, the priest, he knew. No, the priest didn't know. The writer has added this in to prompt Tabitha to look in the lunchbox to get the address for Tabitha to go to Henry's place and meet Henry. But outside of understanding that, Tabitha was led there by the writers. Man, what's going on? It's like all the sirens and stuff. Hopefully y'all can't hear that. But this right here was where Tabitha was supposed to be. The coffee shop. See, that's boy in white. He's power walking. He's booking it. Sees the boy in white. There we go. And you know what? Now that I'm looking at, you really can't see the woman's face, whoever the woman is right here. But I just don't think that's his mom. I think it's one of those things where she saw the boy walk in and just assumed that Tabitha wasn't his mom and just went to defend him. Yeah, her going back was kind of pointless. I get it. I get it was to get Henry into From, but still, I don't think it. So you know what? I don't think it was necessarily to get Henry into From. I mean, the writers probably wanted that, but if this was like a real situation, if this was a real situation, I think that she was supposed to stay in the coffee shop or look for something in the coffee shop, because here's what I'm thinking may have happened or should have happened. All right, so she went into the coffee shop, touched the kid. He turned into this guy right here. I think if she would have waited in the coffee shop, the boy in white would have possessed him again and would have had some dialogue for her. But because she left, that created we'll just say a possibility that didn't have anything to do with the boy in white anymore. And I think that's the reason why we don't see him for the remainder of the time that she's in the real world. I don't think she was supposed to go get Henry. Because, I mean, even though Henry gave an exposition dump as far as Miranda and gave some helpful information, showed her a tree with bottles on it in the back of the house, I think when they started going towards the bottle tree in the park, that she was brought back into Fromville because a different force wanted to bring her back in other than what the boy in white had her intended to do. Yeah, we are up early. We are up early. I think she should have looked around before leaving, but I think she left to avoid getting arrested after causing a scene and doubting herself. Yeah, I mean, she probably did. She probably did. What if he led her to the coffee shop as a reminder of the diner back in town to find someone? There's no way to know. Do you think Lost and From are connected? Maybe the same universe? I think the same people who created Lost and created From, I think they have put things in, maybe Easter eggs or things that kind of connect them together, because the thumbnail that I made, the two thumbnails that I made for the last video that I uploaded, there's like a lot of similarities between the ageless protector, the fact that Christopher and I think his name is Ben, they both had a purge. They both joined the hostiles, because Christopher, it looks like from what we have so far as clues, him finding the symbol and writing down the symbol multiple times, and then the interaction between him and Jasper. It seems that Christopher has joined the evil, maybe before being possessed or taken out by the evil, but both Ben and Christopher joined the hostiles of Fromville. There's a comparison there. And then if you look at matter of fact, let me pull it up. That got me bouncing all over the place answering questions. All right, so we may come back to this. I just wanted to kind of point this out because Tabitha went back empty-handed. No, you know what? I'll do this before I go into the thumbnail. So Tabitha left and came back empty-handed. I think it's because she did not do what she was supposed to do, even though she wasn't given any instruction. The fact that she left the coffee shop and then went to use someone's phone to call her mom, and then she went to the Catholic Church, that put her on a path that was different than what I think the boy in white intended. I believe she was supposed to stay in that coffee shop. Yeah.
Let's just say it didn't work out. I mean, listen, people been part of flops before, and then they just come back. It happens.
Yeah, and she's back in Fromville, and she flopped. You all are still on Eloise. You all are still on Eloise. I'm telling you all, Eloise, she's gone, y'all. Eloise is gone, y'all. She's gone. Victor said that Eloise and Miranda are no longer with us. I mean, I know you all still want to be on the Tabitha's Eloise boat. That's cool because maybe Tabitha will be Eloise or whatever. But I just think that at this point, the writers have moved away from the whole Eloise thing. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I mean, it would be interesting if Tabitha was Eloise. It's just, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not even, I'm just, I've written Tabitha off as being Eloise, personally. All right, so let me go through this thing. All right, so it's the thumbnail I made for the video I uploaded. You know what, let me, all right, so this is, this is both Jacob and the boy in white. They're the ageless protectors. Jacob was looking for someone to protect the island, look for his replacement. He went into the outside world looking for that. The boy in white, according to Sarah, he's not a boy at all. So that's kind of a connection right there with two ageless protectors. Then you have the tower and the lighthouse, both kind of like center points of the place between Lost, the island, and Fromville. Jacob was in both. Jacob was in the tower. The boy in white was in the lighthouse. I believe they're both protectors, and that's like their domain. And then you got Ben and Christopher. They both joined the hostiles. Then so Dharma was the company that employed or that was using Ben. And if you notice, the Dharma symbol looks similar to when the children were all in a circle and they were doing Ankui Ankui. That Dharma symbol looks just like the kids. And guess what also looks like the kids? The symbol or the thing that was in the back of the blast door, that looks similar to the children. How you got here and here, there, so it's like all of them are connected. And then the boy in white used the merry-go-round when coming up from the purge that I think Christopher caused. The boy in white used the merry-go-round to leave Fromville or teleport when he was telling Victor to come here, all dealing with circles. When it comes to infinity, that's a circle. And so one of the things that Dharma was trying to do was to create a utopian social area for people to do research. Well, that's how it was in Lost, and I think the kind of like a new area or a new communal research compound is Fromville. So it's kind of like a connected utopian social area where it's a communal research compound. And then the Valenzetti equation was kind of like the equation that would kind of determine doomsday. It's been a while since I've seen Lost, so don't beat me up too bad. Got the details mixed up. So I think that's where the connection is. That was a lighthouse on Lost also. Okay, well, I just called it a tower. But yeah. And I don't even know how that Eloise thing started. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, people, I mean, there's some people who are still on the whole Tabitha's Eloise, Eloise's Tabitha. On the official wiki associated with MGM Plus, they got Eloise as being deceased. They just didn't do her demise on camera. like they didn't do Miranda's demise on camera. Maybe they will do it in a flashback later on in the season or later on in the series, but I think they have a limited budget. I think there was a limited budget for season 1, and the budget was increased for season 2, but not by that much. So they had to kind of limit what they showed us. I believe that's the reason why they didn't really show us many creature transformations and creatures, taking people out, because they just didn't have the budget for it. Yeah, they didn't have the budget for it. And I think season 3, they got a bigger budget while they showed us the cow being slaughtered, and they showed, kind of like the morphing of the creatures. And, people roasted the way the creatures were looking even with that. So I think Eloise is just not with us anymore. But so like, just in the comparison with From and Lost, I think what it was, they may have had ideas for Lost and they couldn't get those ideas into Lost, and they used that to form From. And I do believe that there are similarities. Now, we're told by the creators that there's no connection, or that they're not in a shared universe. We're being told all that, but I mean, look at what's on the screen. From the children, that's on the back of the blast door, looks very similar. And then in the center, that question mark could have been whoever was perhaps doing the sacrifices of the children or conducting the experiment. I believe that Christopher did some type of ritual like the purge that Victor walked on, that Victor went and found after he came up from the cellar. I believe that purge was a part of a ritual that was, used here with the children, the ghoulish children, to perhaps be able to maybe create that cave painting, or maybe to become immortal, or maybe to free something from Fromville. Same way that the Man in Black was trying to get freed from the island. To me, it's connected, but we won't know for sure until maybe the end of the series. Don't see this plot connection really in episodes now, barely enough time to cover the basic story they've been telling. That y'all going to make me watch Lost. I read people's reviews, so I didn't try to watch it. Sounds like it's a must. Lost is a good show, and if you do watch it for the first time, you get the benefit of binge watching versus having to be like the rest of us with From, only getting one episode at a time. So yeah, I mean, this is a good time to binge watch Lost. There's some of the same characters and Lost had their career started with Lost. And then you got Boyd. He was in there. He was trying to, get rescue his son. I believe it was a couple of other characters. Michael died and Lost on the ship boat also. Yeah. Originally, they didn't want Harold Boyd in the show, though went with it in the end. He's great for the role. Yeah, I agree. He is great. He is great. And another complaint that not another complaint, but a complaint that I have with From is they have too many characters. There's only like 3 storylines: Tabitha, Jade, and Boyd. Everyone else is like a supporting character, which you don't really need. I mean, imagine if they dedicated, let's say, each episode to just three storylines, like they've been doing. But instead of having us talk to Donna, talk to Victor, talk to Julie, hear from Ethan, imagine if there was a focus on just Boyd and Martin. And that was like its own thing, where instead of Martin going away, being a guest character, that every character besides Boyd, Jade, and Tabitha were all guest characters. So now you can progress the story forward with Boyd and have Boyd journey out into the forest and meet people, have Boyd look, looking for where Martin came from. Because when Boyd went back to the town after the interaction with Martin and he had the worms in him, I mean, he didn't even tell anybody about Martin. He slowly started to give people information about the worms. But imagine if instead of that slow drag of him having the worms and dealing with it on his own, imagine him staying in the chamber where he found Martin and continue to explore, waiting to see what showed up with the music box. Because we need to see, we haven't, this is season 3, and all we've seen is creatures and had steps on top of the cabin. But I think if they reduced the cast, that would have freed up some money for them to be able to show us more of the monsters and creatures in the forest for us to be like, oh, okay, this is a bad place. Yeah, Lost and other TV shows in those days had much more episodes also. First 3 episodes, we had like 20-something episodes. Yeah, they did. They did. But, television was different back then. Now, the seasons are shorter because the studios don't really have much confidence in shows. They kind of will pull the plug very quickly if they don't have the ratings. It's a shame though, because that's pretty much what happened with Evil. Evil had the plug pulled, and it just seemed like that was when they started to really advertise Evil, and that's when the number started going up because people heard that it was going to be a series finale. So for some reason because I didn't start watching the show Evil. Don't know if you've seen it. It's a great show, or great series rather. I didn't start watching Evil till I heard advertisement that it was ending, and I'm like, oh, I've never even heard of this show, and now I'm seeing advertisement for it ending. That's what made me watch it. It's what made a lot of people watch it, finally getting advertisement for it. All right, I got 31 people watching and 13 likes. Can I get my likes up, please? All right, so yeah, I do think it's a connection between Lost and From, but I don't think it's going to be really on the nose per se. All right, going back to the coffee shop. Yeah, this is where Tabitha messed up. Tabitha should have stayed in that coffee shop. So now the camera stays on Tabitha. She looks surprised. She doesn't know what to do. Doesn't know what to make of it. Now looking around, can't really see much. I mean, yeah, I don't think the woman, I don't think she was with him. Back to Tabitha, looking surprised. People looking like, what's going on? Yeah, she should have stayed there. yeah, and that's for T and Chin. Yep. So the reason why I went through that is because I think you all were asking about the room number. Yeah, so the room number is 2225. Yeah, right. It even says right there, level 12, 22, 25. So normally in a hospital, the first number or first two numbers will go with the floor that they're on. I don't think that's a thing though. I mean, maybe the hospital they used was like that. I mean, I think at this point the hospital is kind of like a nothing burger, because I mean she's not going back there. She's not going back there.
They bamboozled.
They got us. So many theories were created with the hospital, and no. The answer is no. No hospital for you. Watched like 3 episodes of the first season. Need to go back and to watching Evil series. Yeah, Evil's really good. And spoiler alert, they play kind of fast and loose with whether evil is real or not. And there's a thin line between schizophrenia and other mental illnesses and actually having evil in the world or supernatural in the world. Because someone like Tilly, pull up Tilly's picture, I just saw her. Yeah, can't find Tilly. Oh well. I pull up the priest. All right, so someone like Tilly could pull out some tarot cards and give you a reading, or read your horoscope, actually your zodiac sign, and do the whole horoscope thing. It's only a thing if the person giving the reading with tarot cards and the person receiving the reading with tarot cards, if they believe it. If you don't believe it or don't believe in it, then you could say, well, it's fake or it's mental illness. Because when it comes to religion or church, the saying is that everything, God is good all the time. All the times God is good. So a Christian, let's say, will find $20 on the ground and will be like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. Or a Christian will go home and they'll find a bill in the mail where they owe $20 and they'll say, oh, you know what? That's the devil. So that Christian in this scenario believes that everything good is God, everything evil is the devil. So because that person believes that, then you can talk to them about religion and Christianity and stuff, and they're like on board, they're with it. Whereas with tarot cards, if I don't believe in tarot cards and they mean nothing to me, you can give me a reading all day or offer me a reading. If I don't believe it, it's not going to work. And so it's kind of the same way with From. If you don't believe in a lot of stuff, then it's not going to do anything for you. Or you hit your like, I appreciate it. And that's kind of how that circles back to with Evil. There was, and I know you say you only watched 3 episodes. I'm spoiling it for you. Sorry, but there's a character in the show that really, excuse me. There's really 2 characters in the show that believe in supernatural. There's 2 characters in the show that believe in religion. And there's 1 character that believes in religion and the supernatural. The show doesn't really give you a definitive answer if the religion and supernatural stuff actually is a real thing, because only one good character perceives it, and then you have an evil character that perceives it. So you could say, well, maybe that means it's actually a thing, but all the other characters, they don't really perceive it. They got a science guy. He uses science to somewhat make sense of what he's perceiving, but they don't really come out and just hit you over the head and say that this or that is real. It's kind of a mix between technology, supernatural, and what's in someone's head. So I don't want to get too much into evil, and the show Evil is really, really good. But at least they give you something. With From, they don't give you anything. They don't really give you anything. We don't know if we see the kill the boy writing on Sarah's arm, but did she perceive that and it wasn't really real? Same thing with, now when it comes to the telephone, we don't know if that was all in Jim's head, and then Ethan may have heard the phone because he heard his dad talking on the phone. I don't know. Some stuff is kind of like, is it only certain characters that it's experiencing, or they can experience it, or does the entity only allow certain people to experience it? Who knows? What do you feel that Tabitha would have found if she stayed in the coffee shop? Let's go back to the coffee shop. I think if Tabitha would have stayed in the coffee shop, I think as far as the coffee shop, let me stop rambling. But I think if Tabitha would have stayed in the coffee shop and she would have sat down, the boy in white would have returned. Because again, he led her into the coffee shop for some reason. She got in there. She touched the boy in white. I think her touching him is what made the boy in white leave. The touching. Because I believe that the boy in white possessed him. Her touching this boy broke the connection with the boy in white. And that's why we see whoever this extra is right here, and not the boy in white. So I think if she would have stopped touching him and would have stayed in the coffee shop, the boy in white would have returned. I think she would have got more out of just staying in the coffee shop until it closed, or looking around for stuff, than getting a phone to call her mom and not Jim's family, and then going and then looking in the lunchbox and going to where Victor's dad is and going to his house and then interacting with him. Even though going into, I believe that was the basement where the artwork was, going into the basement, maybe it was the cellar, I don't know. Going into Victor's dad's house to see the artwork was interesting, because we saw the yellow. I'm actually going to go to that as well. That's interesting, but I think if this was the real world, I believe that her staying in the coffee shop would have been more of a value add, and the boy in white would have returned, and they would have had an actual conversation as to what she was supposed to do. Because when the boy in white says this was the only way at the end of episode 10 of season 2, he said this is the only way. Only way to do what? Send you back to the real world? To bring Henry back in? Maybe. But then again, the only way to do what? Because they didn't need Tabitha. And let me explain my logic. Let me explain my logic. So Genius here says, so he must have conditions. I can only touch you and guide you, but touching him might send him back. I think touching broke the connection. I think touching him broke the connection he had with the boy in white. And that's what, and breaking the connection, what I mean is like, okay, when it comes to, let's say, possession, you know, going through the Catholic exorcism, that doesn't really exorcise the demon. It's the person who's possessed pushes the demon out. Okay? And then also thinking about, let's say, the show Supernatural. In the show Supernatural, they were doing rituals to exorcise demons and all that, but the person had to kind of like consent for the angel to be inside of them, and to a certain extent the demon. So what I'm getting at is there has to be a consent there. And so when someone's possessed with whatever type of energy or entity, while being possessed, there's a connection between the possessor and the possessee. So I believe that Tabitha broke the connection, and that's why the boy in white went away. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy. But you know, I think that's what it was. She broke the connection by touching him. And if she would have stayed in the coffee shop, she would have got more information. Because, you know, when it comes to From, everyone else in From or Fromville, they've been brought into Fromville by traveling, and then they were brought inside of it. So if Fromville wanted Henry, they could have got him anytime. They could have got Henry at any time if they wanted Henry to be in Fromville. But I think what it was that at the moment where Tabitha was getting out of Henry's vehicle or Henry's car, whatever the entity is caused the car wreck to prevent her from getting out of the vehicle. And then they kind of woke up in an ambulance and they were going into Fromville. They saw the tree. I believe that if Tabitha would have got out the vehicle and not had the car wreck, the boy in white would have been able to communicate with her and put her back on the right track.
Wow.
Yeah. So the car wreck is basically what forced Tabitha to stay with Henry, and then it kind of made it to where she could be in a vehicle and be brought back into Fromville. Because again, Henry could have been brought into Fromville anytime. He could have been brought into Fromville anytime. And I think Henry and Acosta, they were brought in just because they were with Tabitha at the time when whatever force is opposing the boy in white decided to snatch her up before she had a chance to get back on track. Mm-hmm. So what do y'all think? What do you all think? Makes sense to me? Yeah, I appreciate that. I think that's what it is. Yeah. I think that's what it is. So something else I was going to go over. You know, while wait for me to pull up something. Subscribe if you haven't had a chance to do that. Subscribe while I get this thing ready. The man in yellow. I was muted. The man in yellow. The man in yellow. So what I think about when I say the man in yellow, and first, we've already seen the Civil War person. We've already seen the lighthouse. Most of the pictures in this room we've already seen in the actual show. Only thing that's different is the man in yellow. When I see the man in yellow, here's what I think. Here's what I see. See if I can try to find. The man in yellow reminds me of that red thing in the cave. Try to give you all a side by side. The man in yellow supposed to be Boyd? I don't know. It looks like I believe that's here's what I'm thinking. My first thought was maybe that was Jasper or something. At first, I was thinking maybe that was Jasper, who the Jasper dummy was modeled after. I know I told you I was ready. I mentioned I was ready.
I ain't gonna do this mess no more.
All right, I finally got it. All right. Let's see. All right. So the reason why I bring this up, since it's from Miranda's dreams. Yeah, it is from Miranda's dreams. Well, okay. Yeah. I mean, but has Boyd ever wore yellow? And this his facial features doesn't really look like it's Boyd. So, and it's debatable. It's debatable. It is debatable. All right, so two things that I'm noticing. You see that red kind of like aura on the back right there. Then you see a black aura on the back right there. I think these two reds are connected. And what I mean is the black, I think, represents possession, which that's the reason why there's the black right there. But I think that the red represents like something inside of someone. So in other words, like whoever this is, maybe it's Jasper, the real Jasper, or maybe it's somebody who, maybe it could be Christopher being possessed. But I think that based off these eyes, this person is angry. The red aura is like the evil inside the person's heart, and the black represents possession. As in, at one point in time, or maybe like there's people who have come into Frontville, they went looking for the symbol, and the answer is there's an actual entity that wants to possess someone and use that person as a vessel to escape Frontville. And escape Frontville and do whatever. Like there's an evil that's been in Frontville for the longest. It draws people in and it's trying to get someone to willingly allow it inside for it to be possessed. He said he wears yellow all the time. What? I mean, okay, but this guy looks Caucasian, and Boyd is not that. So I mean, yeah, like I don't think this is Boyd. Matter of fact, let me get a picture of Boyd. Let me get a picture of Boyd. Okay, okay. So I stand corrected. Boyd has been seen in yellow. So I am wrong. Boyd has worn yellow. But are we really thinking that this guy in the painting is Boyd? That what we're thinking? Because the closest we could come to let's see. I want to get the shot where Boyd he had a cradle Tien Chin. All right, found it. All right, let's pull up another shot. All right, so let me do a little abracadabra. All right, there we go. All right, a little abracadabra there. So you're right. He does have a yellow shirt or a tan shirt, which it looks like that's kind of like similar to the yellow shirt that he's got in other scenes. But this right here is the actual like suit jacket with the actual collar shirt. So this is a collar shirt, but it's not like a dress shirt like we see right here. And if you look, it looks like kind of hard to tell. Let me. You all may disagree, but it kind of looks like he's been cut right there on the side. Can you all see? It's kind of like a white line or some type of like injury right there. What do you all think? So you thinking that maybe the man in yellow is like the leader and he became evil? I could see that. I could see that. Where's his beard? Exactly. Where's the guy's beard? But like, I guess if you think about like symbolically, I could see symbolically like, okay, this was the, like, let's say he's not Christopher. Let's say he's not Christopher, but he was the leader in the previous cycle, and then he eventually became evil and got possessed or whatever. Because that's the path I think that Boyd is on, is where he's gonna get to the point where he no longer is trying to have people go home or save people. He just wants to win, and he may choose to win by any means necessary, including being possessed. Or he may go crazy and cause a purge.
Let's just say it didn't work out. It happens.
So Vic says maybe, but that painting is not a picture of Boyd. Yeah, I don't think it is either. And I agree, it could be him fulfilling a role, the leader of Miranda's cycle. That's what Anaya's saying. Yellow symbolizes hope and from, I guess. So I've read yellow also symbolizes not being trustworthy and cowardice. So it depends on who the writer is on what story. What if it's Randall from how Boyd left him? You know what? You know what? I could see that being Randall or someone similar to Randall. Okay. I like that idea because it definitely is looking like an injury on the side. And Randall was bit on one side of his neck. And this red, instead of it being like an evil aura, like I was saying, that could be blood. Because think about it. If you're Randall, Boyd left you, you're angry, which is the red, you're more susceptible to join the evil side and possibly purge. But that definitely looks, can y'all see that? That definitely looks like, to me, it looks like, make this bigger. I don't know, y'all. To me, that looks like an injury. Can y'all see that? let me know if you can see that. I don't want to just, don't let me know if I'm sounding crazy here. Like it's some type of injury. Rudea Smith says, "Dang, people up late, like me deep diving." Yeah, I mean, well, where I'm at, it's like 3 in the morning. So if you're on the East Coast, it's like 6 a.m. about to be 7. People getting their day started. So Rashid says, "So yeah, he might be becoming the new man in yellow or something." Yeah. Yep. What if it's Randall from How Boyd Left Him? I think I already read that. Julie B. Deep Dives, great channel. Welcome. Says, didn't expect to see a live going on this hour. Yeah, we from all day, every day. From all day, every day. Yeah, so Quan says, yeah, the evil wants to break the hope men in yellow. So Vic says yellow means scared. Yeah, it also could mean could be scared. Oh, thank you for subbing, Julie. Thank you. Appreciate it. As a matter of fact, everyone else also subscribe. Yeah, everybody else subscribe. Give you a reminder to do that. Subscribe, click the notification bell, thumb up the video, share everywhere. Please and thank you. All right. Right, it does look like Randall. See, Randall, okay, how this could be a Randall situation. Randall's all bloody. He's all bloody. His clothes are probably bad. He may want to throw the clothes away. Maybe someone else throws the clothes away. And he goes through Colony House, and this is what he finds. This is what he wears. Or it could be towards the end of the season. It makes sense. I mean, why would you want to wear clothes that got a lot of blood in it from last time when you were laying on top of an ambulance, a bloody mess? Vic says, I woke up because my dog started barking and saw the live. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, Vic's about to go for a run. Enjoy your run. Yeah, okay, Julie says just did a live. Everybody go check that out. Yep. So yeah, I do believe that there's something associated. I mean, this could be blood. It could be blood, but I think this red aura is associated to whatever this red aura is. Like perhaps this could be the demon or the entity or some type of just whatever. And when it possesses somebody, those that have maybe like the the third eye is open or something where they can see the possession as a red aura, and that's kind of like what we're getting at. But then again, it could be blood, but I doubt that if it was blood, I mean, the guy's hands are at his side, and if, let's say it is blood, he could be dead with his eyes open or something. I just don't see that because the facial expression to me looks, it looks menacing and looks sinister. And what this also looks to me, or appears, is how Jasper looks. Let me pull up a picture of Jasper. While I'm going through my photos, put on some theory music. All right, found me some Jasper.
Get your tea and your popcorn because this is going to be another good one.
All right, so let's look at, and this is a stretch. It's probably a stretch, a yoga stretch. Y'all probably gonna say, nah, I don't see it. But here's what I see when I look at Jasper, and I'm looking at this guy in yellow. Just hear me out. Hear me out. Just hear me out. Is it just me? Or is there a resemblance between the man in yellow and Jasper? What do you all think? What do you all think?
You've been perfect.
You said a tight stretch? No. Right. Okay, Julie sees the resemblance. Quan sees the resemblance. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and use... Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do a poll. Jasper dummy looks like the man in yellow. All right, I'm gonna do a poll. We'll see who all is with, who all is not. I should have put does. Can I edit that? No, I cannot. So even though I didn't put the word does the Jasper dummy look like, you know what? Oh, wow. Let's do the poll. Can I vote myself? I can't even vote. I don't know. I see a resemblance. All right, here's where the resemblance comes with me. Why everyone takes the poll. You got the ears. Well, ears. Then it seems like, I mean, to me, it seems kind of like they got the same eyes, the same chin. Chins look alike. This guy has hair. It could be a toupee. I think it could be a toupee. And then, both wearing dress shirts as far as the white shirt underneath. But it really is a resemblance as far as that chin, the ears, even the forehead. I mean, the forehead just looks like they're somewhat similar. I'm seeing matching foreheads. Let me see what y'all are saying. Oh, so, okay, we got 12 votes so far. Out of 48 people, 12 votes. People are saying no. 33% saying yes. Jasper got a 5 head. The guy in yellow has a 4 head. Ouch. Ouch. Ouch.
Uh-oh, stinky.
Okay, it's more no's than yeses. Am I completely off with this? Am I crazy?
But that's okay.
Am I crazy with this? So y'all think I'm crazy? Uh-oh. Yeah, looking like 14 votes. 71% says no. 29% says yes. It's looking like I'm crazy with this. It sounds like this is not it's not a thing.
You suck.
So let the record show that most of you all. So Julie says her friend thinks the man in yellow looks like the guy under the boulder from Jay's First Vision. So the guy under the boulder was a Confederate soldier. It's 100% a Confederate soldier. So, I mean, it could be the same person because the Confederate soldier was possessed by something when it did the yell. That was equivalent to the yell that Jasper did. So I could see that. What's going on, Tiptoe? Good morning. So Skull Scorp says completely different jaw, hairline, eye, nose. I'm way off. Okay, I'm into the poll. Okay. Some people agreed though. I think not many people voted, but I don't think anybody else was going to vote. Maybe other people too scared to vote. I think if I would have had all 49 people voting, it would have went a different way. But I don't know. To me, they look somewhat similar. But I know one thing. It's not Boyd. People were saying that it's Boyd because Boyd's wearing yellow. I think Boyd is going to rock that beard for the rest of the series. I don't even think Harold's going to take any other roles just to make sure he keeps that beard. So maybe we're all looking at the same thing, like people looking at an artwork or art painting or sculpture, and we're all seeing different things. I don't know. But I do believe that if we're not going to go with the Jasper thing, I do believe that there's a connection here. So what about with this connection? Okay, let me do another poll. With man in yellow and the red figure in the cave painting. All right, so I think there's a connection between these two, that the red aura, that is the not Jasper guy, the man in yellow, the not Jasper guy. I think that there's a somewhat of a connection between this red aura and this red, I guess, figure in the cave painting, that maybe is dealing with possession. And also the black right here is associated with this black outline right here, also associated with possession. What do y'all think about that? Okay, 8 votes, half and half, looking promising. Okay. Yeah, I like this idea better than the one being Jasper. I'm liking it. Oh, it's more no's. Are you all trolling? Are you all trolling?
That to me is crazy.
Maybe I'm being crazy. Yes. Said I'm cooking. I hope so. I mean, I think there is a connection between the two, because I've heard different people throwing ideas around as far as what this red thing in the center could be. They're saying it could be an alien or Cthulhu. It's just the fact that when looking at this cave painting with Victor, let me go on in. Let me minimize you for a second. So when looking at this cave painting, and I'll just get rid of me for a second. The reason why I'm thinking it's like a red aura or possession is because you have people in white right here, which I think represents possibly the ghoulish children or people to sacrifice. These may be the slabs or maybe coffins. This is the symbol. You got more people in white, and then you got people down here in red, which I think symbolizes people who are evil, the people who are in red. Like you could say the hostiles, but they definitely have characters in white and characters in red. So I think the characters in white are the ones that perhaps they're wanting something from a ritual, and the characters in red are like the evil characters. And then you got the crows right here. I think this is supposed to be the tree in the road. We really don't know. And then them on the stream, I think, is like a time stream or something. And this is the different portals right here, those symbols. Because it's 100% confirmed that the portals and the faraway trees are about traveling through space. And I believe that there's also portals associated with traveling through time, which is the reason why they have the dates inside of the bottles on the bottle tree and the dates in the lighthouse. That's where I'm getting that this is a part of a ritual and someone is possessed, and there's like maybe an evil entity that when you do this whole ritual, this evil entity can either leave Fromville, similar to like how the Man in Black was in Lost, or this evil entity can do something else, such as get stronger or something. All right, let me come back up so I can see what you all are coming with as far as your voting. Okay, so you all are saying after 15 votes, after like 50 people, just 15 votes, you all know you got to vote faster than that, right? Because you guys are killing me. You're killing me. I'm pretty sure if more people voted, it'd probably go the other way. But right now, there's currently 16 votes. 56% are saying no. They do not believe there's oh, okay, we're half and half. So 53% says yes, there's a connection with the man in yellow and the red figure in the cave painting. Okay. I think the last poll, I took that down too fast. I think you all would have been thinking the same thing. People just forgot to vote. Maybe your people are watching and not logged in or something. Because right now there's 26 likes and 51 people watching. So maybe people are not logged in. Maybe that's what's going on.
That was sus.
So if you're not logged in, you're not thumbing up the video, you're not chatting or engaging, maybe you're watching from the clouds. Who knows? I don't know. But I'm thinking that we're all on the same page. I think it's more of us on the same page that there's definitely a connection between the man in yellow with that red aura around him and that red thing in the painting. So yes, thank you. Thumb up the video. Thumb it up. Thumb it up. All right. Rudea Smith says, or hopefully it's Rudea or Rudia or Ruda. If I'm butchering your name, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't, I'm sorry.
Unfrickin' believable.
I probably am messing up your name. So, I think that's a she. All these pictures, paintings are very simplistic, so it can look and be anything. It is true. It is true. So Julie says, I absolutely think that the red around the man in yellow is a red aura that represents something threatening. Exactly. Okay, one person agrees. Maybe she clicked the yes. One person agrees. Yay. Yay. Quan says, same. I never knew he was a soldier until, yeah. So, and I could bring him up if y'all want me to, but Jade has seen a Union soldier, which was the black guy that was shooting at him. Shooting at him, and then the guy with the boulder on top of him in the that closet where the symbol was like on the ceiling. That was a Confederate soldier. So we've seen a Confederate soldier and a Union soldier involved in this whole Fromville thing. Motivational Misfit says that symbol looks like a tree sliced in half. I think it's Mother Nature fighting back against humanity. Could be because the forest, according to Victor, moved. So it could be. Tiptoe says maybe it's a depiction of the entity and he's not human. That's what I'm going for. That is what I'm going for. Quan says space-time is the same thing. Ask Einstein. Well, space-time includes space and time. Whereas a wormhole or a portal would just be space. Because, like, for example, in the faraway tree, you're traveling. Let's say you're at the bottle tree. You're traveling. I mean, time is always moving, of course, but you're traveling really through space because you're instantly going to the lighthouse. Or like when Victor put the rock in the faraway tree and it came down right beside him, it was traveling through space. So now, I mean, it is space and time per se, because time's always moving, if you will, but it wouldn't necessarily be space time because you're not able to control actual time with the portals in the faraway tree. So if you could control, I mean, I guess you could say it could be space and time because when Boyd went to the past. But the idea is if it's space time, you have control over time and you're controlling where you go in time, even though time is passing, which probably sounds confusing. And Einstein, of course, knows way more than I do. I just don't think that, I don't think the faraway trees or the portal with the faraway tree is necessarily connected to time per se. It's just, it takes you maybe to a time period, but not really. Well, you know, now that I'm talking it out, you know what? I'm going to leave that to the writers. I'm going to leave that one alone. Because I mean, space and time automatically will be connected with everything. And if a faraway tree portal takes you to a time in the past, then it would be automatically connected to time because time is connected with everything. So I'm going to leave that one alone. I
ain't gonna do this mess no more.
The entity is the same trauma of Victor's children. Remember, guys? Not sure what Maverick Hunter is saying with that. So Debbie says good and evil are ambiguous terms. Here we must admit this parallel to loss. Exactly. Because you could have someone that we could see, we could determine as an evil person, but they may have intentions that are good for them and their family. So even though they're doing an evil thing, they may not necessarily be considered an evil person. Because it's, you know, if you're religious and you believe in, let's say, God, and God anoints a pastor to preach to a flock, that same pastor could sin. So it's like the pastor did a bad thing or sinned, but still may be a good person because they're picked by God or something. You know, just, I don't know. So Debbie says, man in yellow has Marfanoid habitus. Gotta look that one up. What the heck? What is that?
I tried to tell these niggas earlier when this dumbass bitch did the dumb hoe shit that the fuck she did on her.
I don't know what that is. Let me look that one up.
Unfrickin' believable.
What is that? What in the world? You know it's bad when you gotta look stuff up. Turn the stream. Let's see. MARFANOID. Oh, okay. Let's see. Sorry, y'all. I gotta do it.
Hobbit. Marfanoid.
Okay, Marfanoid habitus. All right, it's a set of physical characteristics that are similar to those of Marfan syndrome. And that's the guy in yellow. So long limbs with an arm span that is at least 1.03 times the person's height. Long fingers and pectus deformities. Hey, you know what? You know what? Debbie has learned us something today. She has learned us something today. Okay. He does appear to be long. Okay. Debbie has given us the word of the day, or the words of the day. Maybe the rest of you all knew that. Okay. So, the portals take certain characters to where they need to go, whether they want to go or not. Yeah, they do. So Debbie says, I think that he went through the tree with a constant to guide him. He's a warning to not end up under a rock. Remember, Victor said you could end up in a mountain. Yeah, maybe that's the reason why the rock went right in front of him or right behind him in ether or to the side of them, because they were thinking about it. The motivational misfit says, I think the faraway trees are meant for the slow walking monsters to travel quickly around Fromville. They definitely could need it. As slow as they move, they wouldn't really be able to catch anybody unless like you're just not paying attention or you're scared. Oh, okay, Rhodia. Okay, thank you, Rhodia. Appreciate it. Rhodia has given us the ability to say her name. Appreciate it. Okay, Rhodia is a she. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so Noor Qasim Art says maybe this man in yellow is connected to the doll. I was just saying that. And people did the vote and they were like, nah, it's no way. So Noor, hopefully I'm saying Noor's name right while I'm doing this. Noor agrees with me. Yes. The man in yellow and Jasper are equal to each other. They're somehow connected. And this painting is also connected to this big red thing. Let's see what the poll's looking like. Okay, 59% says yes. Okay, I think we're all on the same page with this. Yes. I think we're all on the same page. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good. What's going on, Scarlett? Welcome. Hello. From is like being trapped in the mind of a child. Everything is a fantasy and a fairy tale. Hansel and Gretel and the monster that comes at night to eat you. I can see that. I can see that. Mm-hmm. So Martin said that Boyd is his replacement? Martin said that? Okay, so Debbie says, I call the items constants like the lunchbox or Boyd's paper fitting 1864. Constants and variables, okay. Debbie says he's long and lanky, yeah. You're also traveling in time because the faraway tree can take you back in time like what Boyd was with Martin. Yes, that's the reason why I was like, well, you know what? The faraway trees might not necessarily just be a portal. The faraway tree can be like a real world example of like a wormhole that can take you forward or backwards in time. So if they can control the faraway trees, they can maybe use the faraway tree to leave Fromville, go back in the past. Maybe that's the reason why the dates are in the bottles on the bottle faraway tree, because someone learns how to use that tree to time travel. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
So I'm telling you, the idea of time and time travel and time being a seed, I really see that as something that's going to be a part of the show, or that is a part of the show. Let me do a poll. Okay, so we're saying it's connected. I'm going to end this poll. I'm going to end this poll, and we're going to do a... Do you believe time travel is or will be in From? What are we thinking? What are we thinking? What are we thinking? Mm-hmm. Tiptoe says, yes, that's what I thought. The bottles with dates represent the eras and time traveled. Exactly. Rudea says, I don't think the trees are for time travel, just traveling in from. So Julie says, it's so hard to find someone to even evaluate me for, whoa. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to read that aloud. I should have read it before starting to read it. Quan says time travel already was when Boyd, exactly. Mm-hmm. So Tiptoe says, I don't recall Martin saying Boyd was his replacement. He just said, my blood is your blood. Yeah. I think Martin was kind of like cursing him with the my blood is your blood. Yeah, I think he was really just cursing him. I'm still saying your name wrong. You typed out Rudea. Rudea. There's just no other way to read that but Rudea. Like that's it, Rudea. Or is it Rudia? You know what? Going forward, I'll just refer to you as Smith. So Rudy, you're Smith now. You are Smith. You're gonna be Smith. If you can live with Smith, you'll be Smith. Okay, so she says yes. So Smith it is. Debbie says absolutely. People who live with that's not for us. Quan says Julie and Ethan will explore the ruins and confirm Boyd was there in the past when they stood still. Exactly. Exactly. Agent Smith. See, now Smith, now you're agent of the Matrix. It's official. You are an agent of the Matrix. Yeah, we thought you were here to talk about From, but you're really an agent of the Matrix. Yep. So okay, so people are with the time travel. Time travel is or will be in From. People are with the time travel. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. So Smith says it's not time travel, it is portal travel at the same time. Okay. Yeah, Boyd was in the Matrix. You know what? Boyd's been everywhere. Boyd has been everywhere. When you really think about it, Boyd had all right. So spoiler alert: Boyd played Link in the Matrix. Like I think it was 2 and 3. He was an operator, and yeah, dude's been everywhere. He's been everywhere, and now he's Boyd. Dude's been everywhere. Okay, for those of you who are members or want to be members, got some cool emojis. Taking a break here. Got some cool emojis that I'll put in the chat in case you all want to emoji it out. Got Smiley Monster. Have Victor and Ethan. Jasmine. You all said you all like Jasmine. Boyd. The Lighthouse. And also, yep. Tabitha being harassed by the ghoulish children. So in case you all want to be a channel member, those are the emojis you get a chance to use. And yeah. Yeah, so yeah, Tiptoe says my favorite Harold movie is The Best Man. Yeah, me too. Harold was lost, then went to the Matrix, and now he's stuck in From. Dang, yeah. He also, you know what? And he also was an MMA fighter in the last Best Man movie. If you haven't seen that, you should definitely check it out. Yeah. What? Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah, he was an MMA fighter. He was actually really, he looked like an MMA fighter, and he was winning. He was winning. Yeah, so that's Jasmine. Jasmine's the one that bit the tongue off. She's that middle emoji right there, pinned to the top. Yeah, you've only seen the first Matrix movie? What? 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 Yeah, you missing out. I mean, 2 and 3 is on point though. The fourth one, not so much. The fourth one, not so much. The fourth one was trash. The Wachowskis had to make that one, and they made it trash. It definitely was trash. It was trash.
Game over.
Yeah, it was trash. But the Matrix trilogy 1 through 3 was on point. So Quan says I knew him from Oz and Fame. Julie says she misses Jasmine. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep, I see Owens using the Jasmine emoji. Salute, salute, salute. Thank you for being a channel member. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, Matrix 4 was weird. He said you missed Trudy. Yep. Yep. Yeah, we're sound affecting it all the way from going forward. Raekwon says Agent Smith and Skynet are always watching. Yeah, they are. Yep, they basically replaced Santa Claus with Skynet and the agents, and that's what you have. They know when you're sleeping, they know when you're awake, they know when you've been bad or good, but so be good for goodness sake. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gotta be good, man. You gotta be good. You gotta be good, y'all. Don't do it. All right, so I told you all I was gonna go back to. Oh, you know what? Is still having a poll? Yeah, so time travel in from. Yeah, so even though 25 people voted out of 51, can I get some more likes or thumb up? Either thumb up the video or thumb it down. I'm cool either way. Give me feedback, and if sometimes when you all give constructive criticism in the comment section, I try to incorporate that into the broadcast, or doing videos and stuff. So I do listen. I'm not just only focusing on the good comments or whatever. So I do listen. Yeah, I do listen. Don't think that I'm just like ignoring the constructive criticism or when y'all talk crazy, like you're mispronouncing a word. Believe me, I am listening. I am paying attention and incorporating that. I appreciate all feedback. So yeah, thumb it up or thumb it down. Give me something. Because right now it's 50, like it's 47 people watching, maybe 50. 49 or 50 people watching, 36 likes. If the rest of them are thumbs down, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that if the rest are thumb down. Okay, so Fromily Theory says lunchtime here in the UK. Enjoy your lunch. Enjoy the good eatins. Yep. Enjoy. All right, I'm going to pull up. Let's see, did I have anything else for that episode? So one thing I want to point out is that Miranda, all right, let me get rid of you. Victor, you got to go. You got to go. So when Miranda painted this stuff, she was on a drug. So, and the reason why that's significant is she may not have been able to actually visually see in the vision exactly what she was painting, which is why a lot of this stuff looks horrifying. That's kind of the reason why I really haven't really just taken a deep dive on it. I mean, I've seen other people take a deep dive and they've made heads and tails of different paintings and different things, but because Tabitha is back in the real world, I mean, we don't know. We'll never know what all this could really mean. For example, this the ghoulish children, but they look more ghoulish than the paintings that we see in Ellis and Fatima's room. Oh, and you know what? If you notice, Fatima is not at this funeral. I think this was foreshadowing that Fatima was going to be eating dead bodies, and that's the reason why she was omitted from the scene. Okay, so 76% says time travel is in from. Appreciate it. You said you could smell those paintings. You can smell them. Okay. What do they smell like? What do they smell like? Yeah, Scarlett's in the East Coast, so the sun's rising for her. Oh, the paint. Okay. Yeah, the Nkui kids do look horrifying. Maybe because Miranda was on something when she painted it. Because the Nkui kids look like they may have like, you know, a disease, but they don't be looking like that. Okay, so MMM says Elgin's constant encounter with the kimono lady could be associated with Japanese spirits associated with pregnant women. But wouldn't the Japanese spirit be associated with somebody Japanese? Because Fatima, I mean, I think she's from India, which is India is, I think it's in Asia, the continent of Asia. So I could see a connection kind of like that, but not really. So Skull Scorps says Tabitha's unlikely journey takes a shocking turn. I believe it will be time travel via faraway tree to Frumville from another time period. I hope so. I hope that Tabitha goes through the bottled faraway tree, and instead of going to the lighthouse, she goes to some point in time. That'd be awesome if that's the case. That'd make my day. That'd make my day. So Smith says From is in real time. It is just an alternate reality. The seasons can change arbitrarily. It really is more supernatural than scientific. Well, okay. So alternate reality. I didn't say this. This is what Smith brought up. So I'm going to ask this. See what you all say. Is Phone Thomas an evil entity or possibly a human? Let's do this. I just want to know. I just want to see What do you all believe? What do you all believe? We're going to see. We're going to see what you all believe. But yeah, I think that Fatima was not in this scene for the funeral because they're foreshadowing that Fatima can't be around not just dead plants, but dead people without getting the munchies. I think it'll get to a point where okay, so Fatima, I think, was able to control it in the last episode where she kind of snuck off and started sticking her fingers inside in the side of I think it was Kelly, of Christy. No, it was Kelly. Whatever the dead person was. I think that it's going to get to a point where she's not going to be able to do that. Where she's not going to be able to control herself and she's going to be like a rabid dog. All right, I'm taking a quick break for a few seconds to do some stuff. Be right back in 1 minute. You know what? I just realized something. So I didn't propose a yes or no question. So I got to redo it. Yeah, I got to redo it. Because that's too confusing. Okay, now we're ready. Okay, so what is Phone Thomas? Human, evil entity, or neither? Yeah, because that's too. Yeah, sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. So Smith says, I love the theories, though some can get out of hand. We we are all getting out of hand.
Bruh.
Yeah, we're going to be getting out of hand for the rest of the season. If spoiler alert, if you do not have your tinfoil hat, you're missing out, because all we're going to be doing is tinfoil hatting on this channel. Yeah. All we're going to be doing is tinfoil hatting it up. Tinfoil hat, rabbit holes, fox holes. We're going to be going all the way down to the center of the earth. So I hope you all are ready. Yeah, I hope you all are ready. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all we're going to be doing is having fun and going down rabbit holes. Okay, so people are saying evil entity, some human, some saying neither. Okay. Okay. And the reason why I put neither is because even though I had a video saying that it's an alternate Thomas, it's possible for the alternate Thomas from like a different timeline or something to also be an evil entity. And what I mean is that it's definitely not the Matthew son, because the Matthew son passed away just like Eloise passed away. Okay? Same way. Same way, okay? So the same way Eloise passed away, the Matthew's son Thomas passed away. However, the person on the phone could be a different version of Thomas who could also be an evil entity. They could be one and the same. Just because it's an alternate version doesn't necessarily mean it couldn't be something evil as well.
What?
Yeah, I know.
What the fuck?
And so the reason why I say that is because think about the people on the show, how you got Sarah with the ability to talk to or hear voices, Jade is seeing visions, Tabitha is going through wormholes, the boy in white is coming and going and disappearing, the voice on the radio, who I believe is Christopher, warned Jim that Tabitha shouldn't be digging the hole and the house collapsed. We're basically dealing with a show where anything is possible. Logic is out the window. It could be anything. Yeah, anything. All right, so Kwans asks, so is Fatima becoming a vampire or just a monster? The monsters don't drink blood, they're mummified. So I believe that Fatima is basically becoming a ghoul. And if not a ghoul, maybe like a Wendigo, because Wendigos, they eat humans. Let me double check. I think it was a Wendigo. Check on my mythical creatures. Right. So the Wendigo is described as a fearsome beast that stalks and eats humans, or as a spirit that possesses humans and causes them to turn into cannibals. So I think Wendigo is where Fatima is gonna go. That's where Fatima Wendigoing, if you will. Okay, Fatima is Wendigoing as to be a Wendigo. All right. and it's according to AI and Google that Wendigos can be a spirit that possesses a human and causes them to turn into a cannibal. So I think either she's turning into a ghoul or a Wendigo or something equivalent to that. Because if you think about it in the show, we're getting the creatures, they more than likely are vampires. And the footsteps on top of the cabin could be a werewolf. We got giant spiders. We got worms. We got cicadas. We got crows that are attacking people. Anything that you've seen in a television show or a movie where it's like an evil entity, we're basically getting some of that in the show from. It's just that I think they're taking an idea like It, which is really a spider, and they're kind of like remixing it for the show. What's going on, Lisa? Lisa's in the house. Hello, hello. So Chev or Chev, hopefully it's Chev and I'm not messing that up. I already messed up Smith's name. Sheev or Chev or Chev or Kev or
Finish him.
Why do the creatures care if Boyd loses it and is broken? Their sole objective was to take people's lives to season 1, but they want to break Boyd psychologically for some reason. What is the benefit? So here's what I believe. I think that when Boyd put the worms in the smiley creature and took the bile from the smiley creature's body and put it on the bullets, when the smiley creature, so when the worms that went into the smiley creature became cicadas, or the worms mixed with the smiley creature and he became upgraded to become cicadas. And the bile from the upgraded smiley corpse was put onto the bullets and was shot into every creature that was all lined up outside of the RV in season 2. So I believe the bile bullets upgraded the creatures or evolved them to where now they're more intelligent. Like they were more like pack animals at first, because when you observe animals in the wild, they do things as a pack to hunt their prey. So the talismans being put inside the homes kept the creatures out, but it also caused the creatures to adapt to the talisman stones. Whereas with the bile bullets, it just flat out evolved them to where now they're doing strategic methods in order to get their victims. So I believe that in them being upgraded, they now are able to talk to whatever entity was talking to Sarah, and whatever entity is creating all of these things that they're seeing, like maybe Jade or whatever. The entity or entities or voices that were talking to Sarah, they've been talking to the creatures, but now I think the creatures are evolved to the point where they're now able to, instead of playing 3D chess like they were back when it was like season 1, season 2, now they're playing 5D chess, and now they're able to be more sinister. So instead of putting Kelly's head against a tree and leaving her there to suffer, they're now taking up the challenge, according to the creator, taking up the challenge to break Boyd, since Boyd says you can't break me. So the actual creator of the show said that the creatures are taking what Boyd said, that you cannot break me, as a challenge. But the reason why the creatures care is because they've been evolved to the point now where they're playing 5D chess instead of playing 3D chess, if you will. That's what my guess is. because it's no different than, let's say you have a military force such as Russia, and they outmatch Ukraine like 10-1. There's no way Ukraine can withstand Russia. And let me know if I'm offending anybody with this analogy. But there's no way that Ukraine can withstand Russia or even defend itself from Russia, even with the UN's resources, including the United States of America. There's just no way that Ukraine can do anything to really defend itself against Russia. And Russia knows this. However, to add insult to injury, Russia may destroy Ukraine's infrastructure as opposed to just simply defeating them. And that's just like a total war thing where they want to send a message to like humiliate their opponent. And I believe that's what the creatures are doing. They're wanting to humiliate their opponent, humiliate Boyd, to send a message. Because if they break Boyd, then Boyd is more susceptible to do things out of desperation to win, including sacrificing his own people, maybe even hurting his own people, and maybe even taking the lives of his own people to perhaps resurrect Abby. When people are broken psychologically, they're more inclined to be animalistic and do things they normally would not do. Another example is like when Boyd came up from the well, Martin said, if I help you out the well, you got to help me. And what Martin asked Boyd to do was for Boyd to shoot him and take his life. Boyd didn't want to do that. Boyd chose to free Martin instead, because that was back when when Boyd was completely good and wasn't willing to hurt anyone or trade lives or take anyone's life. However, with season 3, we see that in desperation, Boyd was willing to leave and sacrifice Randall to the creatures to save other people. So they're starting to break him. He's starting to unravel, like the actor that played Victor said in an interview when talking about season 3. So because they're starting to break Boyd and he's unraveling, Boyd is doing stuff that's uncharacteristic of being a hero. Yes. Thank you, Lisa. Everybody remember to thumb up the video. Thumb up, thumb up. Remind Jim of his failure as a father. Ooh, yeah, that could be the whole Thomas thing. People are saying, evil entity, 27 votes out of like 55 people. Okay. Megan is grandma. That want true. This is why I believe Thomas is to attempt to gain trust and reminds of failure. It could be. Yeah, there are rules in From, but it's like they don't really know all the rules. He said, I said Rudea, like Judea in the Bible. Oh, like Judea. Okay, so Rudea, Judea. Okay. They didn't get upgrades now. I mean, I believe they got upgrades with the bile bullets. All those nights being locked out and eliminating the hunt. This is from Lisa. For the creatures, gave the creatures a motive to strategize. So Dorito fan 100 says Boyd is symbolic leadership of the people in the Fromville. Breaking him kind of breaks them all. Yeah, and we see that in the preview for the next episode. People are starting to do things and not really listen to him, which they shouldn't listen to him. They really should listen to Kenny. I still believe that Boyd's arc is going to be him becoming somewhat evil and doing things out of desperation and becoming villainous, whereas Kenny is going to end up being the leader. We see Donna's already breaking down. Donna's breaking down and crying in private. It's only a matter of time before she breaks down and cries in public.
I thought that these were actually quite refreshing.
Yep. In the season 3 finale episode description, it says, for Boyd, time is running out for someone he loves. Not sure what that means. It could be Fatima. Time could be running out for Fatima. But then again, someone he loves would be Ellis. I wouldn't be surprised if Ellis passes away. So Betrayed King says Boyd is in a bad state, and I don't mean Maine. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Kill-tacular. Kilimanjaro. Kill-pocalypse.
Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Shots fired. Wow, wow, wow. So, Rudea says Boyd took Martin's place, whether he knows that or not. Ugh. So Lisa says something that came to my mind. It was in the 1978 flashback. How come all the residents are outside? They would hide at night. So what made them come out? Eclipse, running out of hiding spots. I think what made them come out was the belief that they were going to be going home. I think they believed they were going to be going home, and that's what made them be out at nighttime. Because Miranda told Victor to hide, and she was going to go save the children. So it had to. So my initial theory is, or thought is, Christopher was going to sacrifice the children. He was going to sacrifice the children and sacrifice everybody in town like a purge. Miranda found out from Victor that Christopher was going to sacrifice the children. So that's why Miranda was going to go sacrifice the children at the lighthouse. And a part of whatever the big sacrifice was included people in town. And Christopher probably told them that to go home, we have to take the lives of these children. Similar to how the voices told Sarah, kill the boy, everybody goes home. So I think everybody was outside planning on going home, and they lost their lives. And I think because Victor was left behind or was hiding and was remained alive, that whatever the true intention of the ritual was, it didn't go the way it was planned. And maybe the boy in white either looked at Victor in an angry manner because the boy in white is in on it, or maybe the boy in white looked at Victor in an angry manner because the boy in white was upset that the purge happened. So that's what I'm thinking it is right now until we get more information. So what do you all think about that? Or do the From residents know the rules, but they haven't told us yet? I believe the ones in the past knew the rules. Maybe the ones in the past knew the rules, but not necessarily the current people. They probably will start finding out the rules when they start going through the forest, looking through faraway trees. So Toog says no, Boyd will save them all. Well, we sure about that because he left Randall behind. Yeah, he left Randall behind. And also, he wasn't able to save Abby. Oof.
Oh my God!
Yeah, if Boyd would have been focused on Abby and Ellis and been more selfish, Abby probably would have not opened fire on all those people and lost her mind. Just saying. Just saying. Yeah, I'm saying Smith. I'm gonna stick to Smith. So Carla was saying I was really hoping for a bad Kenny. I mean, he still is bad. I mean, he could still be bad, but being a, he just seems like he'd be more of a leader now than Boyd and Donna. I think people would listen to Kenny, especially because he's coming back with food. So the fact that he's coming back with food to feed everybody, the same way Donna rounded it, kind of like rallied the troops and created Colony House. Boyd found the talismans. And Boyd was taking charge of resources and stuff. That's what made people listen to Donna, listen to Boyd. I think Kenny coming back with food and addressing people in a crowd, that's what's going to make people start to look at Kenny as being a leader and want to follow him. So Debbie says, no way the boy goes bad. I mean, he left Randall. He could have used the ambulance to run over the creatures to try to save Kenny, but he chose not to. He went back to Colony House, and he had no intention of going out to get Randall. I mean, he was even drinking with Donna like they were popping champagne. They were in there drinking like they were celebrating, and then Boyd looks outside. He's like, "Oh, you survived." Ugh. Boyd was just as surprised as the rest of us that Randall survived. So yeah, Boyd is going. He's going to be Breaking Bad. The lighthouse is a huge piece of the puzzle. Yeah, I agree. I agree. So Thomas O'Rourke, not the phone Thomas, says, heard one thing, we're getting answers for this season is the origin of the monsters, but don't know how many answers for the rest of season 3. Yaquan says the boy in white actions keep them playing his game. Agreed. Lisa says hope Boyd and all start writing a guide down in case there's another group. Kenny saying we may be a thread in the sweater. Hopefully the cop will become the historian. Take some notes. Yeah, they need to make a map of the forest using reference points like the cabin, the humanoid statues, the bottle faraway tree. They need to make a map, and they need to start exploring. Even though the forest moves, they don't know that. Victor knows that or believes that. We know it and believe it, but the residents don't really necessarily know it. So if they had some way to make a map, they could use the cabin as like a midway point and use that to go explore from the cabin. They may find more structures. They may find more places where they can like post up at, put a talisman outside and just kind of camp out while continue to make a map. They may find more food, more livestock or more animals to be livestock, and they may even find more towns where there may be other people just like them in the same boat who may know more information. So Carla says, nah, he's going to feed everybody just like his mom. Yeah, he is. He will do that, and they probably will look at him as being de facto leader. And then if when it gets, my prediction is it's going to get to a point where Kenny is going to be in charge of this expedition to go get food all the time and stuff, and people are going to be like, you know what? Instead of just 4 of you all going to get food, why not the entire town go get food? There really is no reason to stay in town or Colony House during the day. It should be people going to go get food, going to look for the faraway tree to go home. They should be exploring, making a map, getting resources and seeing what's out there. If they run into nightmarish entities, I mean, you're better off dealing with the nightmarish entities during the day than sitting around waiting for whatever the end is. It's only a matter of time before the creatures, the nightmarish creatures, start throwing stuff in the windows or throwing stuff to knock down the doors, and the talismans are useless. Because remember, even the creatures were telling Randall, when Randall was holding up a talisman stone, that's not how they work. And I wouldn't be surprised if the creatures don't start destroying talisman stones. If they're not allowed to touch them, they wouldn't have told Randall that's not how they work. So I believe that the creatures can destroy the talisman stones. They just haven't bothered to do that.
Slayer.
All right, so 76 people believe that Phone Thomas is an evil entity. We got some believing that he's human, 8%, and then 16% says neither. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, so Smith says I'm still waiting for someone to go under the tree. I'm waiting for someone to go under the tree, around the tree, just something. But based off the promotional pictures, when you go past the tree, it's the town anyway. And that was back when From was on Epix. All right, well, we've been on here. How long have we been on here? We've been on here a little minute. I've read messages of people getting breakfast ready and getting ready to go to work and getting ready to go run. 58 people watching. Yeah, been on here 3 hours. Ugh. Yeah, I think I've held you all hostage long enough. I appreciate everybody who tuned in. This was kind of a pop-up stream, just something random to see if I can't sleep, if anybody would join me in being an insomniac, or if like right after an episode airs, if I do a stream like this, who all would join me, who all would be interested in it. I think you all are interested in it, so I may definitely do this right after an episode airs, and then if I'm up and can't sleep or wake up in the middle of the night, I may pop these up and go through some theories. But originally, yeah, this was for the season 3 episode 5 trailer. Looks like the residents are going to be getting more rowdy and perhaps doing more exploring, which I'm happy for that. I just think that Tabitha leaving the coffee shop and touching or trying to touch the boy in white, her touching the boy in white broke the connection, and that's what made the boy in white go away. She should have stayed in the coffee shop. She didn't, and we got what we got. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, yeah. So, what do you all think? What do you all think? So From Elite Theory says parking, thank you, please. UK views have no one that live streams. Right, Debbie says everyone go hydrate and stretch. Definitely go do that. Definitely hydrate, stretch, eat something, get some rest. Do it, do it, do it. Yep. All right, so let me know in the comment section your thoughts. Thumb up the video, share everywhere. Thank you for watching. Go forth. Do great things, and I'm out. Peace.